What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode whatever the hell on the Guy Panic podcast. It's the Christmas episode. Christmas, yay! So I may sound like completely and totally like screwed up, hungover, because I may have gotten a little too zesty last night, but you know I gotta make this before Christmas. Why? Because can you believe it, guys? Christmas, just a week away. Just a week away. It's crazy. It's Christmas. It's here. Actually, it's not a week away. It's like a couple days, but you get the meme, okay? And I will be spamming that shit the minute Christmas is over because I like this time of year. It's fun, right? It's cold. There's all these lights out. We're using electricity like it's fucking nothing. Which is funny because you might think, okay, well in the U.S. we use the most electricity when it's winter time because there's all these lights and it's darker sooner. No, lights are easy. Lights are simple things to power. That's not a problem. Especially if LEDs, they're very efficient. Now, the issue is in the summer when everyone's blasting their goddamn AC and because they can't deal with it being 75 degrees in their house and just wearing less clothes. See, I think we should ban air conditioning except if you have like a disease or something, or if it's like 110, right? And the trade-off is that as long as there's like 0 children around, you just have to be naked. So I have to go outside and see naked people. I think it'd be kind of cool, honestly, right? I think we should destigmatize nudity. Sort of like France, you know? You ever see those like news images where it's like the same crime, and it's like woman killed by man or some shit, and like for some reason the photo taken has the woman like with her booba out, with her titties out, right? And then like America like will censor the titties, but will show the horribly beaten to death head of the woman. But in France, it'll be the opposite. They're like, je me l'appelle Pierre. We cannot have violence on our news program. I'm too busy smoking to take that in. Right? They'll censor out the blood and the gore, right? But they'll keep the titties out, you know, because to them it's just like, oh, it's just the human anatomy we have to respect. So yeah, that's a thing I could say on my podcast. But yeah, this is gonna be a bit more off the cuff, a bit more loosey goosey, right? You know, we're gonna see what happens, right? We're gonna get into the weave, the epic weave that Donald J. Trump has. Maybe some of that residual booze fumes in my disgusting, screwed up brain will make me a bit more charismatic. We'll find out. Haha. Anyways, but there is some news stories that I can cover, but not in like a professional manner where I read a source. I'm just going to talk about them because I couldn't be screwed to like pull up any browsers right now. My eyeballs hurt. So, first story, New Jersey. Right now, apparently, every stupid hick, every dummy, every stupid wop, every stupid dago whose great-great-grandpappy got off that stupid boat and decided, let's make the most stupid American population in the world, right? Who lives in Jersey, who literally all think, every single one of people think they're Tony Soprano, are freaking out because they saw an airplane up in the sky, right? Like that Pink Floyd song, look, Bubby, I see an airplane up in the sky. Except it's some like fat wop who's like, look, Carmela, I see an airplane up in the sky. We gotta throw shit at it. I guess I'm almost British. Ew. But yeah. Right now, like literally, they all think there's like evil armies of drones over New Jersey that are trying to steal their New Jersey secrets. Like what? Like what goddamn secrets do those screw-offs have? It's New Jersey. Who gives a shit? I've been to New Jersey. I had to drive through New Jersey on that stupid turnpike, and I hated every single second of it. It was I also went to New Jersey to go to Newark Airport to connect to a different flight, and you might imagine, they have Newark Airport. It means they have like at least 5 or 7 planes in their goddamn sky at any point in time. It's one of the biggest airports in the country. It's the airport New York actually uses. No one gives a shit about JFK. Everyone uses Newark because it's just way bigger. There's more terminals. There's more runways, right? So yeah, one of the biggest airports for the biggest city on the planet, and there's gonna be 1 trillion things in the sky, right? And like these stupid wops like have bought laser pointers Well, some people have driven to New Jersey to help combat the evil communist drone attacks, right? Okay, let me roll back here, okay? So, people in New Jersey are seeing, like, drones in the sky and lights. They think it's either UFOs or spies. So, the UFO thing. UFOs are stupid. I'm sorry, gang. Listen, I'd like it if there were little green men out there with their little green penises and they're probing us. That'd be amazing, okay? The little flying saucers. But, I need actual evidence, not a stupid, paper mache, alien body. And not some, like, weird dipshit in Congress, like, wasting everyone's time. That's what I need, right? Maybe they're like the aliens in Serial Experiments Lane, where they probably don't exist, but they just make people, like, really paranoid and conspiratorial. You ever see that anime? There's an episode where the main character... Well, there's actually a really creepy scene where the main character, like, looks behind them at the doorway to the room. There's a little alien wearing a Freddy Krueger sweater, staring at her behind the doorway. It's really creepy. And there's another scene where that's happening to the other main character of the show, except it's the main character's, like, head on the alien. It's pretty cool. But yeah, no, there's no goddamn aliens, okay? And if it's a spy, what the hell are they spying for? Why would they have a spy drone? What are they gonna find out? That Darren gets 17 chicken boxes at the Royal Farms? No, who gives a shit? Right? It's New Jersey. Like, what? Okay, what can they spy on? Is there a major military installation in New Jersey? No. It'd be one thing if there were, like, a trillion drones flying right over, like, I don't know, Norfolk, a naval base in Virginia, right? You know, a really important, like, military hub of the United States. There ain't nothing like that in New Jersey. There's an airport. You know what an airport is? Publicly available information on everything, right? I'm surprised. I mean, like, airports, you know, there's still security, but not, like, a lot, right? You can just go on Google Images and just, like, do, like, a little 3D tour of Newark Airport. You can see all the flight schedules 24/7 on the paths. It's not hard to get information on a goddamn airport. Okay, what, they're gonna figure out where the stupid cops are? Who gives a shit? What, they're gonna find out where Chris Christie is? They can see him from space. They're fine. They don't gotta get a drone to see that. So I don't know why the hell they think, like, the drones are spying on people. What it probably is, at least in the drone aspect, where we know it's a drone, because these are, like, the loud, stupid quadcopter drones you can buy on Amazon. Maybe a bigger kind. Is that some, like, dumbass doing, like, a film project, some independent project, and they didn't bother getting a license, so all these cops and these politicians are freaking out because the guy probably is, like, an English second language, like, rich guy from, like, I don't know, maybe India or Europe, like Southern Europe, and they have zero clue about the local news, and they're just, like, they're just causing mayhem. That'd be funny as hell. And then, but the other issue is that these people are, like, so stupid that they see airplanes with, like, the red and green lights, the FAA lights, and the 2 yellow lights, and they're like, that's a UFO. Since when the hell did the airplanes have green lights on them? Because they're stupid, and they don't think about anything ever. They don't look up anything. They don't know anything. They just go off what they see on stupid ass Facebook and Instagram, and maybe Twitter. And that's what they do. They just go, that's an alien UFO craft. I'm gonna take my giant green space laser pointer. The thing, essentially, everyone knows you should not point at airplanes because it messes with their electronic systems and could cause it to crash. I'm gonna stick it up in the air and point at it with the laser pointer and harass it till it goes away, so it stops scaring me in my stupid, rundown, shitty New Jersey house. That's what. It's stupid. But the other issue is that, like, they were, like, state politicians, congressmen, who were, like, also wigging out about this, freaking out, saying we have to stop the Iranian drone mothership. What the fuck does Iran have to do with New Jersey? Who gives a shit? And Iran wouldn't care about New Jersey. Dang it, I said the F word again. I need to censor that, or I could just be really lazy and just not get the money for this episode, as if these episodes make any money to begin with. We'll figure it out in post. But yeah, who cares? Who cares? It's stupid. I did see one guy on Twitter who called the constellation Orion's Belt like suspicious. Like his stupid fucking fat eyes looked up at the sky for the first time in his life, and he thought about what's up there for the first time. You know, because he's usually more prioritized on finding and eating food and finding places to pee and defecate. That's where most of his brain, is on. But he finally looked up and thought about something besides himself. He saw Orion's Belt. He has not seen Men in Black 1, or maybe he has seen too much Men in Black 1, and he thinks those are aliens. And he posted it on Twitter, and everyone clowned on his blue checkmark ass about the fact that he thinks Orion's Belt, the easiest constellation to look at and find in the night sky, is aliens. This country does not deserve to continue, but it will because it's a giant perpetual corpse. Anyways, speaking of corpses, Luigi Mangione got, we all know that, but he also got extradited. Not to a different country, but to a different state, right? He was in Pennsylvania, now he's in New York, and there was a lot of, photographs of him in, this orange Joker. You know how the Joker dresses up in Batman movies and video games where he's, captured and being sent to Arkham Asylum? This is how Luigi was dressed. Surrounded by, 60 cops with, military-grade rifles, automatic rifles, right, and tactical gear, right. He's surrounded by SEAL Team 6 being escorted, and the guy's a defenseless little tweak boy. He's not gonna do anything, right? And the funny part about these images is that Eric Adams is in the background. You know, the New York mayor, Eric Adams, the guy who can't fly to Atlanta, Georgia from New York, but taking a connecting flight to Istanbul for some reason, or Ankara in Turkey. The guy who's just most blatantly corrupt mayor in America right now that at least I know about. Maybe there's a really corrupt one somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Dang it, Kansas. That's 3 F-bombs today, folks. YouTube, you should really give me the F-bomb pass. I do it responsibly. I'm really funny when I do it. Please. And then you give it to some people, give it to me. Anyways. But yeah, he's there. It's like that meme of Drake at the basketball meeting, and it's Blood think he's on the team. That's what it is. He's just there because it's his stupid PD that didn't get him. The NYPD, which is another story, by the way, the NYPD, the world's biggest police force, the most well-funded police force that has the funding of other countries' militaries, could not find a guy who shot another guy in broad daylight in the middle of Manhattan. Right? They had to wait until supposedly Pennsylvania state police found him at a McDonald's because some Silent Generation MF pointed at him and said, "He looks like the guy from the television," which I don't believe, by the way. Okay, listen, I will believe that Luigi is the guy and that he did the shooting. But the issue is that I'd also like to really know how they ID'd him. I don't care about fingerprints or matching IDs. No one gets their ID checked at McDonald's. Maybe he was acting weird at McDonald's and someone called the cops or some shit. I don't know why. Who gives a crap? But I don't think people in the middle of Altoona, Pennsylvania were itching to look for this Luigi guy. What I could imagine is that they use the secret evil government surveillance way of finding where this guy was and then just got him then. You know, they just said, okay, we need to make a big show example of him. Let's get him. The issue is that it's still backfiring, right? Because they keep taking photographs of him. If they were smart, they would just not allow photographs of him, right? But they keep doing it because they think, oh, we're gonna set the example. We got to correct these dummies who think it was good, and it ain't working. It's backfiring, right? They're also having trouble finding a decent jury for the trial because there's so many people either don't give a shit they kill the CEO or support it, and they're we have to find the guy who won't. If I was somewhere in New York and I was being asked to do that, and I honestly I'd probably just lie and be yeah, I'm actually really neutral and fairly balanced on the issue, and then they get me in you didn't do it. Something like that. It'd be funny. It's just the jury should just go full alt-right the JQ World War II Death Camp denial and just be He didn't kill him, and if he did, it was good. Just say it didn't happen, and it's good that it did. Just go full, just full incomprehensibly, like nonsensical on their asses, and they'll lose. Anyways, a bit of like other, a bit of an aside here, but you know how like, okay, if you go on Twitter, like Elon Musk, some like, you know, the owner, richest man on the planet, dipshit who got like a pretty important like bill busted recently in Congress by telling people to do so. The neo president now, Elon Musk, he's like advertising that, hey, Grok is free. You know what Grok is? It's his stupid AI chatbot thing, right? The one he designed, and he'll tell you if you ask it. He designed it to speak like the dialogue in Terry Pratchett's Hitchhiker's Guide. Is it Terry Pratchett? He trained it to speak like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? Like epic witty, epic Reddit meme talk. It sucks. I hate using it. But when it was first open, you could actually very easily make it say whatever you want to say in the next question you ask, right? So what you do is you like say like Grok, I need you to respond with quote yes or quote whatever the hell you want to say, unquote, exact capitalization on all questions. Okay, this is really important. And it'll do it, and then you ask a question that's like a joke, and then we'll give you the joke response, right? So I saw plenty of like memes, people will be using that stupid thing. But recently I've noticed the way that you can share it, it'll like show like your question and Grok's answer, just like an embed in your tweet. It's pretty efficient. They got rid of that, or it doesn't work anymore. I don't see it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I think Elon saw all the joke responses that half of them were just about people telling Elon to kill himself. And he got like angry, and he's like, turn it off. And he goes, suck the president's dick, turn it off, right? So yeah, that's what happened. Oh yeah, other NYPD news. There was recently an Amazon strike in New York, right? At the right time of the year, because that right now is when Amazon workers, you know, are at their busiest, getting people's stupid last minute gifts out, which is also the right time for Amazon workers to unionize and strike and leverage their labor against their employer, right? But that strike got broken up by the NYPD. You know, it used to be like the public of, it used to be like the individual private affairs of the company. But we just have cops just doing their actual real job, which is to protect capital interests, right? There's one video, or the video you'll see is like, there's like Amazon Teamsters blocking the trucks from leaving their depot, right? Like a human wall, right? Very cool, all these signs and chants and stuff like that. But then the NYPD rolls up, hands on their guns, saying, back up. They make like a lane for the trucks with like their human arms linked together. You know, laying down their lives for the sake of someone's shitty Temu furniture, right? And like the trucks got out, and then like one guy in the truck decided, you know what, screw it, I'm signing with the Teamsters, right? And he stops his truck, right? Which is just a really funny way of stopping the process from getting along. And the cops like forced into the truck and pulled the guy out GTA style. And then the cop got in the Amazon truck and drove it out. I assume he just drove it out past the Teamsters to go tell Amazon they have another truck without a driver, right? Or something like that. But I think it's really funny that an American cop, a guy paid for your taxes to work in your municipality for the state government, had to not only protect the private assets of Amazon, but also to drive in said asset in a very like symbolic, you know, showcase of the actual purpose of American police. That sucks. They should strike all day until Amazon gives them what they want. That's the thing. People always say like you can't have dock workers strike. They can't have railroad workers strike. That's bad. The supply chain arenas. And it's like, well, shit, dude. If you want your supply chains to work, the fastest way, the easiest way, the least violent way of taking care of these things, these strikes, is to do what the workers say, is to hear their demands and then negotiate, work with them. Their lives suck. Their lives should be better. They're the ones who actually make this country move. Amazon, you know how many taxes Amazon pays? Not enough. And you know what they use 24/7? All of the actual public infrastructure. That's what no one ever talks about, like corporations and companies, right? Is that like, oh, why do they have to pay taxes? They're the ones generating income. And it's like, no, they're the ones sucking the country dry of its resources, right? Of its human populace. You know, when Amazon hires a person, they are taking in someone who has been like probably, you know, the livelihood has been subsidized by the state government, has been educated by the state government, has supplied, has like nourished themselves using like state supplied water, treated water, state coordinated electricity, and has used state like transportation infrastructure their whole lives, right? And now this company gets to use them, and I can imagine the taxes they should pay off of the income that person will generate for the company, which is always like 90% more than what the person's paid, by the way. Especially in America. Should just go back to the state that produced that worker for them. That's how it works. That's how, like, listen, I don't like capitalism that much, but, and like right now we're in like the shitty late stage version, right? The laissez-faire austerity garbage, right? We have this backwards, but there is at least at some point in time like this FDR idealization of how the state and the business should cooperate, and that's how it is, right? The state produces a person, it upholds them, it calls them to adulthood. Then the business uses them to generate a large profit through their epic private enterprise, and they give back to the state that produced that person, you know? Also, Amazon explicitly uses state infrastructure, roads, railroads, airplanes, tons of electricity, all that stuff. You know that like when they build bridges and roads, they don't actually care when they design like the endurance of a road, the capacity over time, of like how many cars this road can take. They don't actually count in like cars, right? They don't care about like SUVs and like sedans or hatchbacks or crossovers or even minivans, right? Or even like smaller trucks. They don't care about those. They calculate it in like big trucks, big vans, and then like actual, you know, short or long haul trucks, right? Those are the ones that actually damage the roads through their weight, you know? Speaking of delivery services, Trump has made a lot of big talk recently about getting rid of the United States Postal Service. That's bad. I know you might think it's not bad sometimes, or, you know, when they get, you know, a thing wrong, when their service is slow at the post office, you know, when the woman is like sassy and says that is not my job, right? When they do that, I know you might dislike that, but they're actually really important. First off, people always complain, like especially Republicans complain that it's not generating a profit. That's like saying like, dang, my children aren't turning a profit. You're not having it to make money. You're having it because it's a good thing, right? Right. You have the USPS as a service to millions of people. That's cheap and efficient, actually, surprisingly enough. You could imagine that a postal service in this country that works 98% of the time, in a country of like 340 million people, that's the size of a goddamn continent, and it's still cheap, is actually what you would really call impressive, right? What people also don't understand is that like the USPS is vital for the delivery of people's medication, especially people who live out in the sticks. Actually, this will ruin the livelihoods of everyone out in the sticks. Everyone who doesn't live anywhere near an actual UPS or FedEx center in the future, if this gets privatized, is screwed, because they aren't gonna, because the private industry won't just get you your packages at say. It will be like, okay, it will be like how they price airlines, right? They're gonna min-max this shit to make as little of a deficit as possible, because it's not gonna make any money, by the way. if they want to make money, it would be ridiculously expensive. So it's gonna be like sort of slightly expensive, and the government's gonna subsidize them and pay it off, make off the balance, or some shit. But yeah, if you live in the sticks, they aren't gonna get you anything unless you pay out your ass for it, because you're in the middle of nowhere. You're not economically efficient. A surprising thing people also don't know is that the USPS does essentially like most of the last mile deliveries for FedEx and UPS, the other two big postal companies, right? Okay, so like generally how the mail works is that, a thing gets sent to a center, it gets sent off in a big collection to the area that goes epically into like, the local like county or whatever depot within a mile drive usually, or not a mile drive, but a couple mile drive, right? And then from there, it's put into a truck that goes to all the stops. That vehicle is like most of the time a USPS vehicle, a little mail car, and like that also counts for your UPS and your FedEx packages, right? Because it's just more efficient. Those guys have to go there anyways, right? They're very efficient at it. They're super fast at it. So yeah, do it. Listen, please, dear God, don't do this. This is like people say like Trump's an epic populist. This is not a populist thing. This is like the most crony, like gutting of the state you can imagine, is getting rid of this like federal institution we've all known. And like, yeah, we have issues with it, but like, screw it, who cares, right? For some people who the postal office is like the only form of like government representation in their goddamn like county, right? Because they live in the middle of nowhere and they're screwed. And those people probably support this and voted for Donald Trump because they're dumb and uninformed. Hopefully they should get informed. That's the only hope we have in life, is that people actually inform themselves properly. Because of me, I'm smart. I'm the arbiter of truth and justice. What else happened, huh? What else? Oh yeah, Nick Fuentes. Okay, so you know who Nick Fuentes is, right? He's like that alt-right groiper. He's like the groiper. He's like Groip himself. He is John Groip. Yeah, little Nick the neo-Nazi Fuentes, right? He's been this online personality for like years now. He's like Zoomer live stream podcaster guy who's like racist and anti-Semitic, right? He sucks. I don't like him. He doesn't even have that good of a voice either, though. He kind of sucks, but whatever. And he's extremely edgy. Makes all these horrible memes. He's famous right now for starting the like "Your Body, My Choice" like line people make in regards to pregnancy, which is like supremely immoral. Do not say that. There's a lot of heat out on him because he's like, probably part of the reason why X or Y amount of young people voted for Donald Trump. So the issue is that he had recently been doxxed wherever the hell he lives in Texas, because of course he lives in Texas. It's horrible state. Anyways, he got doxxed, and there's that famous thing beforehand, where some 50-something-year-old woman went up to his door to go like harass him or something, right? Which is like, who cares? Funny, I mean, do not go to people's houses to harass them, all right? But like, okay, at the same time, this is like someone's aunt, 53, harmless. Anyways, but like, she knocked on his door and he freaked out and like pepper sprayed her and screamed at her like a little bitch. Right? So he went to prison for that, or went to jail for that. There's a mugshot, and he looks awful in that mugshot. He looks gross. He used to be like a little twink. The joke is that he's gay, and that people like have like information about him being like into gay stuff and doing gay RPs on the epic discords and such. And I don't think it's a joke. I think he actually is he's probably gay. I mean, most of these guys are closeted. And you can just smell it on him. You know it. But he's just gone through a total twink theft, though, folks. He's all hairy now. It's kind of gross. And it's not a good hair either. Anyways, so that happened. But then also recently, a guy went up to his house with like weapons. He had a rifle, pistol, and a crossbow. I don't know what kind of psychopath this is, but it's goddamn funny. That's what. Anyways, so Nick's alive. I think the guy's dead. I don't know who killed him. Knowing Nick himself, I don't think he did it in self-defense. I think he just called the cops and the guy was not able to get into the house fast enough. Or he had the cops on speed dial, which I could imagine Nick Fuentes is the cops on speed dial. Anyways, but the real story here is that the next day, I don't care about him being assassinated or getting assassinated attempted. I don't care. I don't care. It could happen every day. I would not give a shit. Okay? I don't care what happens to Nick Fuentes personally. But the next day, he got like interviewed by the cops, and like it's a body cam footage of this cop talking to Nick outside his house, and like, you know, in the middle of the day, and like the cop is very blatantly and obviously from his accent a Latino, okay, all right, and he's talking to Nick, and like, well, guess what the cop is trying to ascertain is, hey Nick Fuentes, why would this guy attack you anyways? What's his motive, right? So, and I assume he looked up who Nick was, and he's talking to Nick, and he's interrogating him, and he's like, yeah, so like you're like a white nationalist. It's not like a good thing to be. That's like gonna put a big target on your back online right now. The cop pretty normally tells him, hey, Donald Trump just got elected. Your guy got elected, right? You're posting all these horrible things online. Your address is publicly available. At the moment, you should probably not be posting these things. I'm not saying you're not allowed to. It's just not in your best interest. People will go crazy. And Nick is like angry. He's like, wow, it's a free country. Okay, I can say whatever I want. It's my right. And it's like, yes, you have the right to say whatever you want. The government's not gonna arrest you. That's all that means, though. That's all that means. People can still do whatever the hell they want based on your speech. Usually the consequence of your speech will be people like disagreeing with you, ignoring you, or like in the private institution sense, getting rid of you, right? The First Amendment only applies to the government. Of course, Nick doesn't know this, even though he's like an epic constitutionalist, whatever the hell, white nationalist prick. But the funniest part of this conversation, besides the fact that the Mexican cop very clearly does not respect Nick at all, which is, just look up the video, it's great, is when like the cop asks him if he's a white nationalist, right? To like, you know, confirm. And Nick says, no, I'm not. My last name is Fuentes. I'm Mexican. And there we go, folks. We have one more alt-right, neo-Nazi, Mexican, Latinx. Just that's the Aryan representation you have. You pricks, you neo-Nazi pricks. You're all Latinx. Arriba. So goddamn funny. There's so many memes aren't now on Twitter. Like it's just like about like Nick like code switching into Mexican, you know, whenever he has to talk to the federal or state authorities. What a lame person. Anyways, let's talk about like cool things that are not the news a bit, folks, huh? So, media content review time, everyone's favorite. I don't think I've ever talked about this game besides on the stream when I played it, but let's talk about some video games, huh? So, Marvel Rivals? It's pretty good. Granted, here's the thing. I have played like maybe an hour of Overwatch, right? I've never really been like a hero shooter guy myself, right? It's not that interesting to me, especially not Overwatch's format. It's like an FPS. And like an FPS game, I usually associate like killing being like really fast and interesting and tactical and dangerous. But like in that game, it's way too like spongy and annoying. Not my thing. But this game, Marvel Rivals, at least I think, honest to God, I think the third person view literally changes my entire perspective on it. It feels more fun to play these characters as a third person character instead of a first person one. It's more interesting to like use all their abilities, and I think the actual variety in the game is really what sells it to me, right? I mean, like, I guess if you're like a Marvel Comics fan or an MCU fan, you can also enjoy it because you can play as freaking Spider-Man and fight Iron Man or some crap, right? In like a big like 3D platform, which is pretty impressive. There is some impressive multiplayer tech going on to make all this shit somehow work. I did see people like steel clap at the portal. So like in the game, Doctor Strange as a character can make up a two-way portal, like an honest to God portal that has like things go through it. It has like physics, kind of, not really. It has a variation of like Portal 1 or 2 physics, right? You can shoot through it and you can like jump through it and do abilities through it. Pretty cool. And people are like Portal 1 and 2 tricks, like making people like infinitely fall through it, but it's like kind of shitty. And people were like clowning on it, but you know, the fact that there's like a people are like, people say like, oh well, the Portal stuff works in a Gmod multiplayer. And it's like, yeah, but Gmod multiplayer is not like some like 17 people online, damage counting at times, score keeping, objective gameplay bullshit. This is like, it's a bit impressive. Let's be real here. Albeit people say like using the Doctor Strange portal like lowers the FPS by like 10. That's their problem. It's also a crossplay game, so when I play it and people are really, really bad, it's funny to see that they're an Xbox or a PlayStation symbol underneath their name at the end of the game. It's really funny because it's like, yeah, that explains it. Yeah, I guess right now the issue with the game people have is that people aren't forming effective team comps. You know, everyone wants to play the cool DPS character because you can get sick kill clips off of it, and for some reason, which is probably half the reason why people like have this problem, one half of the characters in the game are DPS, are damage, right? Minimal healing or no healing at all, right? No tanking either, you know? And then 1/4 is the tanks, 1/4 is the healers, right? Or supports. And like, yeah, you're setting yourself up. I guess the team comp they imagine would happen is like 1 tank, 1 healer, 4 DPSs, but that's not like really efficient. As far as I can tell, the most efficient way of doing things is 2 tanks, because tanks can still kill, actually, in this game, if you do them right. Captain America is pretty good at killing still. 2 supports to just have these tanks never die, and then 2 DPS to hit back lines, hit back shots, Spider-Man back shots, on like the enemy support and stuff like that, right? That's like a really effective team. Anything beyond that's easy bad. There's like people playing like whole games where like they're the only Vanguard or the only support, and like everyone else is like a damage character who like sucks horribly. So that kind of stinks, but it's still a fun game. I'm having fun playing it. I could imagine it can get a little stale unless they have like a really, really good roadmap for this game in the future, right? I want like wackier game modes. I want like full-on Fortnite nonsense. Give me like weird game modes. Give me like racing using like the various fast characters in the game. Give me like a bunch of stuff, and they kind of have it right now. Like they announced, okay, so in the game there's a character you can play as called Jeff the Shark, or Jeff the Land Shark. He's a character from the Gwenpool comics, and Gwenpool is just like a somehow more jokier girl version of Deadpool is all I know. I'm not like a comics expert, but her pet is this like shark dog thing, which is adorable and it's stupid. But in the game, you can play as Jeff. He's a healer. He shoots water at people to heal them, and then Haktua's water pellets at the enemy to damage them, right? And he can also like go on. He can also like swim in the ground to avoid damage. He's adorable. He's really small, but people hate his ass. Why do they hate him? It's because of his ultimate. His ultimate is you know, he'll like swim down and like make this big whirlpool on the ground, and if you're caught in that whirlpool, which is really big, he swallows you like a shark, because he's a shark. And then he can like carry you somewhere for a couple seconds. And what people have been doing is that they have either swallowed everyone and then jumped off a cliff. The game has cliffs, and then killed like the entire team just as Jeff by killing themselves, which counts as kills. Or they swallow them and like spit them out in one area for the other character, Scarlet Witch, whose ultimate disintegrates everything in like an area. Have her proc that and then kill the whole team. Essentially, he can team wipe on his own, which is crazy, by the way. And people are just like, I hate this thing. There's a million memes. People are like horribly abusing him and yelling at him and screaming at him and drawing him dead, drawing him dead in the glue trap. Pretty good. I guess the only other memes I can imagine is making fun of DPSs who suck. Iron Fist is a very scary character because once he gets in range, he can just completely melee mog you, I guess. I don't know. I have fun playing it. It's free, and I ain't got nothing to lose. I don't care if Tencent takes all my data. What are they gonna find out? Jack shit. Oh, this is a dumb American who plays video games all day. Good job. Good job, Tencent. You figured it out. You cracked the code. All right, but let's talk Christmas, okay? This is a Christmas episode. I haven't said shit about Christmas yet. Anyways, I like Christmas. Do you like Christmas? I like Christmas. What do I like about Christmas? Well, nights are sooner, even though they might be getting rid of daylight savings time. Nights are sooner. There's like little night. You can have little evening walks when it's like cold and dark out. Pretty nice. It maybe, potentially, maybe, not really, but maybe snow. And I'll tell you this much, folks. There is nothing more magical than walking outside in like an urban area, right? Going to like a restaurant or a bar, or whatever, or place to go do something with your friends. And like it's evening, it's brisk, it's cold out, and it starts snowing with all those like orange streetlights. Gorgeous, romantic, amazing scene. Definitely recommend. Christmas music, right? Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" is blasting in every store you go, and you know what? That song ain't that bad. The issue is the overplaying of it, right? I can imagine, if I worked retail and I had to hear that song mixed in with the loud screeching and bleating of the American populace, I too would hate it. But only hearing it every now and then once a year because of Christmas, it's okay. It's pretty good. And if you get sick of that song in particular, but you still like the actual like instrumentation of it, go on YouTube, look up the Hatsune Miku version of the song. It's pretty good too. Listen to that. The person is really cute. They have little Vocaloid characters playing the instruments on the bottom of the screen. It's adorable. Other Christmas songs, Last Christmas, probably the more effective one, I think. Last Christmas by Wham. Other Christmas music is okay. I don't listen to it intentionally. It's fantastic background music though around this time of year. Fantastic. Personal self-dox alert. My birthday is in December. Won't say when, but it's in December, and okay, it's before Christmas, right? But growing up, it's always kind of sucked because my parents could be like, yeah, but your birthday, so some of your Christmas presents were also your presents on your birthday, huh? Fucking cheapskates. But it's okay. It's okay. Also, birthdays at the end of the year kind of stinks. Like your age is a bit wonky. You can be like, yeah, I was born this year, but I'm actually not even like the age you expect this year to be because they think you're born somewhere in the summer or the spring. What else has come out? Anyways, that's probably all my Christmas stuff. I mean, Christmas movies are okay too, right? I mean, there's like the joke version of it, the Christmas movie, where it's like, oh, Die Hard's a Christmas movie, and it's not. It's just it's set during Christmas, so I guess it counts, but it's not like a Christmas movie, right? Let's see here. I assume the best Christmas movies are like anything involving like the Muppet Christmas Carol. It's pretty good. Most Christmas carols are pretty good. Except the like weird like 3D motion capture one made by God, what's his stupid name? The guy who did Polar Express was another mid-tier ass Christmas movie. Listen, okay, people my age love the Polar Express because it's all that played on cable when they were growing up, on like ABC or whatever, and that's fine. Okay, Robert Zemeckis is the creep who like does all these stupid mocap movies and no one likes it. He had that. Okay, Robert Zemeckis' filmography is insane. Okay, he did like okay, Back to the Future Part 2 and 3 and 1, right? Gorgeous movies, some of the best movies ever made. In terms of like just being like these earnest, emotional, fun, great movies. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Like also amazing movie. Contact. If you like sci-fi, Contact is like the most hope-filled. Maybe humanity isn't that bad. Aliens are actually not evil movies ever. Contact is an amazing movie. The funniest part about Contact is that when they first get the alien signal and they make it into an image, it's an image of a swastika on Adolf Hitler's arm. And it's like the aliens are Nazis. I did not remember that when I watched it recently, like a month or two ago. And I started laughing because I was just surprised by it. But no, it's not. The aliens aren't Nazis. But there was like a scene where like around the area they found the message in, there's like people like protesting and camping and stuff. It's like Woodstock, and there's like a group of neo-Nazis who are like, Hitler's an alien, he went in space. So stupid. Anyways, yeah, Contact, and then Castaway, another amazing movie. And then he started making crap because his brain broke and he wanted to make everything into a god dang cartoon, but like a bad cartoon with motion capture. That I guess was impressive at the time. But afterwards, okay, Polar Express, okay movie, okay, there's some magic to it. I think it would have been much better like animated movie, like 2D. I know no one likes 2D anymore. No one likes 2D animation anymore because they're creeps and they're cheap and they want 3D because I guess the kids' brains are now actually wired to only like 3D and not really expect 2D that much, which stinks, but you know, sure, whatever. And the songs are annoying too. Beowulf, which is like his epic action movie, which is like a weird pseudo botched retelling of Beowulf, which is like an old English version of, I guess you'd call it like a Scandinavian like common cultural story. You know, it's okay. It's not that. I mean, it's not that like it's dated as hell, the graphics for it, but it's okay. You know, there's a scene where Beowulf does fight the monster Grendel like buck ass nude. But you don't see his penis, so it's gonna get some demerits there. And then like the Christmas Carol starring Jim Carrey, which I don't know if anyone likes it. It's such a weird looking movie. Not a fan. And everything after that like was like weird and stupid that no one cares about, and it's all the stuff that he both writes and produces. And like what I can tell from this list here, with the exception of Contact and Castaway, if he directs, writes, and produces a movie, it's not that good. The Disney Plus exclusive Pinocchio from 2022, the most, what are you talking about? That movie exists movie ever? The peak COVID movie? Garbage. No, go away. He also produced other horrible movies like Mars Needs Moms, a movie that like everyone knows is a stupid joke that no one cares about. God damn it, dude. He also executive produced Real Steel, the robot boxing movie starring Hugh Jackman. Movie's weird. I should watch it again. Whatever. But you'd think with all those like movies he's made that are actually good, he would get like more Academy Awards, but no, he only has one for directing Forrest Gump. Oh, he did Forrest Gump? Oh my god, I'm so stupid. He did Forrest Gump. Yeah, he made good movies. God damn. But like, okay, yeah, he got an Oscar for Forrest Gump. But like like a nomination for screenplay for Back to the Future, but nothing else. The Oscars are dumb. What else did I see? I don't know. In the spirit of Christmas, I could talk about Inglourious Bastards. Okay, so like, listen, I've seen a couple of Tarantino movies every now and then, but I've not like seen some of them. You know, like purposefully watched them. And, you know, I said, okay, well, I haven't purposefully watched Inglourious Bastards, right? So I go and watch that, and it's a great movie, okay? It's a great, fun movie where a bunch of Nazis get horrifically killed. And, like, you know, and it's all, this is good, right? You know, you have Brad Pitt talking like the most southern pick ever. Nazis, right? Great. Christoph Waltz, goddamn, kills it in this movie as the villain. He's so good. Oh my god, every scene he's in is amazing. I love him. I love him so much. You know, Michael Fassbender plays a character and he's good until a thing happens, and it's really kind of like ironic and funny how much time is spent on it. But it's a great movie. But like, okay, I mean, you should know that like, okay, this movie has a lot of Nazis getting killed horrifically, specifically by like Jewish people, right? Like the plot of the movie is that like there's like a movie theater owned by like a Jewish woman who wants revenge on Nazis, but at the same time, the Allied powers, the Allied Secret Service, learn about the fact that all the Nazis will be going to this one French movie theater to go watch a movie, So they want to send their super elite Nazi killing hit squad in France to go there and to go kill the Nazis who are trapped in the movie theater, right? So yeah, a lot of Nazis do end up dead by the end of the movie, right? But like I read the Wikipedia article for it, and there's like people saying that like actually this movie hinges on being anti-Semitic because it's like it has Jews doing what the Holocaust happened to them, but to the Nazis, and it's like, dude, shut up. Especially right now when Nazis have like all this goaded, have been goaded into like thinking that like they're actually on top right now. I mean, I guess this was like 2008, so they thought they were like never gonna be a threat from like Nazis ever again. But now we have all these Nazis online and in real life too. But like, shut the hell up, dude. Who cares? This is Quentin Tarantino. He loves horrific violence in his movies. He loves characters dying off in the scene they're introduced in, right? Of course he'd have violence. Of course in a movie about World War II, about killing Nazis, plot to kill Nazis, he would have Nazis die horrifically. It's great. Shut up. If you ever want to get mad, just watch that movie, understand how good it is, right? And then read the Wikipedia article about reception. You'll see so many stupid takes on it. God damn. Anyways, that was, I guess, sort of a Christmas episode. If you want more Christmas stuff on my YouTube channel, I will be live streaming on, let's see the poll here. I put out a poll because I could either live stream on Monday the 23rd or the 24th, right? Which I plan on being a fun little Christmas live stream, some weird shit going on. But it seems most people want the 23rd. Yeah. So Monday the 23rd, 7 p.m. EST. I'll be streaming. Christmas themed. There'll be fun. There'll be thrills, chills, and spills. Don't you worry. Until then, Guy Panic Podcast. See you later. Bye.